What's going on, guys? Shogun here, and as you can probably tell by the title, I managed to get hands-on with the Nintendo Switch at a special event in Birmingham. Shout out to Nintendo, and also shout out to my boy Roy for putting me onto it, to be honest. But yeah, we managed to get hands-on with the console in all its glory. And I've got some videos of gameplay as well. You're going to see some clips during this, but I've also got some full videos that are going to come to the channel very, very soon as well. But basically, there was some pros and some cons. Overall, I've got a lot of positives to say about the console. But yeah, let's just get into this. First of all, the range of games that we played, it was varied. They had Zelda, Breath of the Wild, they had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they had the 1-2 Switch games, which is kind of like this generation's Wii Sports, but it doesn't come bundled, and I'll speak about that in a bit. There's also a game called ARMS, which looks really, really cool, and a couple of other games as well dotted about, but those are the kind of the main heavy hitters. And for the range of games that they showed us, there was one thing that stood out about all of them, and they were a lot of fun. And they're bringing back the fun factor with this console, and I'm happy about that. A lot of people are kind of concerned about the technical specs, that sort of thing, but it's worth noting that Nintendo have never really tried to get into that kind of argument and that kind of world. And this console, they're sticking to what they do best, and that is making fun games and a machine and a set of peripherals that facilitate that. And it's good, it's great, I love it. We managed to get some hands-on time with the new Legends of Zelda game, but unfortunately they only gave us 10 minutes, and it really wasn't enough, unfortunately. We got to have hands-on and move around with it and that sort of thing, but 10 minutes into a Legend of Zelda game doesn't really give you much. It was just kind of figuring out the controls, having a look around, that sort of thing. There was a little clever moment where if you try and open chests from any angle other than the front, he'll kick it, and if he's not wearing shoes, he stubs his toe, that's pretty cool. They put a little bit of attention to detail in there, and the open world looks really cool, and you really can approach anything from any angle. There was a little moment where I tried to go into there was some ruins. I deliberately went through them the wrong way just to see if I could like kind of jump through the gaps in the stone, that sort of thing, and I could, and it was great. And so I'm positive about that game. It looks good. It's typical stylized artsy stuff. It's not, you're not gonna get this crazy hyper realistic stuff. That's not what Zelda's about, but the game looks cool. I played Zelda both with the actual tablet itself and also with the Pro Controller. Not a big fan of the Pro Controller, to be honest. Size wise it's okay, but it just feels really light and flimsy. It just feels like, I've got pretty big hands anyway, as you can imagine. I'm a pretty big guy, but it just feels like I could break that very easily, and that's not a good feeling. I'm not a very ragey sort of gamer, but anyone that is, that pad is breaking if you throw it once. Granted, you shouldn't be throwing your pads anyway, bit of a silly thing to do, but the pad just doesn't feel robust at all. In complete contrast to that, the tablet feels great. It's a decent size. It's about the size of your standard 7-inch Android tablet. If anyone's ever held one of those, it's around about that size. Not too big, not too small. You can see everything you need to on the screen. I don't think you're going to have a problem with that. And it's a perfect size. It feels good. It feels sturdy, and yeah, I like it. I think that'll probably be my preferred way of playing this console, is by using the tablet itself. I'll probably dock it if I'm ever going to be recording gameplay, but for personal use, I'm definitely going to be using the tablet with the two JoyCons in on the side. And speaking of the JoyCons are really, really good as well. They've got what they call 3D rumble, and it really does work. There's a little mini game that you can play in 1-2 Switch where you've got to kind of move it about and shake it and feel how many little marbles are inside it. And obviously there's nothing in there other than, you know, a gyroscope and the little rumble pack. But it really does feel like there are individual marbles in there. And I mean, you can see on screen right now, there's me playing against Roy, and I was able to be really precise with it and figure out exactly how many there were. That's really, really clever. I don't know how they've done it. I don't know what kind of technology is in there for that, but it's really good. And the little JoyCons, they're tiny, but they feel, again, they feel pretty robust. I like the JoyCons, I like the tablets. I just don't like that Pro Controller. The only bad thing about the JoyCons is that because of their small size, the shoulder buttons are absolutely minuscule. Like, the two shoulder buttons put together are about the same size as the trigger on a PlayStation pad. They're really, really small. And when you think that you've got a bumper and a trigger, it's not great for anybody with particularly large hands like myself. In terms of holding the whole thing, it's great, but just those shoulder buttons, they're not brilliant. But overall, the launch catalog, it's pretty strong. Legend of Zelda, from what we got of it, what we got to play, it seems cool. I definitely am looking forward to getting my hands on with that. 1-2 Switch is definitely a purchase. That's a definite buy. If you think it's a social game, so it's something you're gonna want to play in your house with your friends, with your partner, whatever. If you're a bit older, play some drinking games along with it. It's a definite. It's really, really good. It's a lot of fun. We were quite skeptical about it at first, but once we actually started playing with it, it was really, really good. And once we'd finished recording, we actually went back and played it again and again and again. We spent more time on 1-2 Switch than anything else, and that says a lot. ARMS is a good game. The controls are a little bit weird. You have to hold the Joy-Cons in a very specific way, but once you get the hang of that, it's a really, really clever game. It's a good take on the whole kind of Wii boxing sort of game that they've tried to do for ages with the Wii. Wii boxing was great. They had another boxing game that wasn't quite as good, but this is really a lot of fun. And again, I wouldn't say it's a definite day one purchase, but something you'll want to pick up and have a go with. We also played a bit of Splatoon 2. I personally was absolutely awful at it, but it was still a lot of fun. But yeah, it's a really strong launch catalogue. This console gets a big thumbs up from me, 2 thumbs up actually. The only downside to it is the Pro Controller feels a bit lightweight and flimsy, and the shoulder buttons are really small. But granted, not everybody's hands are as big as mine. So, but yeah, there's something for everybody in this console. You know, you got your traditional hardcore games like Zelda and Splatoon. You've got your fun games like 1-2 Switch and ARMS. So at launch, there's at least a couple of games for everybody to play if you go and pick this up. My friend Roy is getting it at launch. I'm going to get it pretty soon after. I'm going to get hands-on with it straight away and give you a more in-depth review. We only got limited time at the event. But overall, very, very good. I'm looking forward to it. And if you get the chance to get one, you won't be disappointed, I guarantee it. But yeah, as you can tell, I had a lot of fun with it. Stay tuned. There's going to be plenty of gameplay from the Nintendo Switch event coming to this channel. So subscribe if you're not already. Click the bell and make sure that you're first to see any new content that drops to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you're excited for the Switch. And until next time, take care. Peace.